What's going on, everyone? Welcome to CC Media, where it is all about Nintendo, and I do not know where to begin. Okay. I am not the type of person who usually believes rumors or supposed leaks about video games. You know, I usually have a pretty realistic perspective on things. That's why people always say, oh, take this with a grain of salt, and it makes sense, because usually rumors aren't true. And it is very possible that the rumor I want to talk about today will not be true. It's very possible that it's just gonna come and go and it's never gonna really see the light of day. Maybe it's a rumor because it was an idea at some point, or maybe it's just totally made up by some person. But this rumor has been backed by apparently multiple sources who have been correct in the past. Again, not saying it's gonna be true, not placing any bets or anything. But I saw the headlines this morning and I couldn't help but think about it the entire day. I really want to make a video about it because this is so exciting. Whew. Here we go. Nintendo has big plans for Super Mario Bros. 35th anniversary. Oh my gosh. You've seen me get excited about things. I've seen myself get excited about things, and I still, for the things I get most excited about, don't get as excited as I am right now. Oh man, this is so cool. Okay, Nintendo is planning to celebrate Super Mario Bros. 35th anniversary this year with several major releases, new and old. This year! Now listen, I'm not getting myself too hyped up. I'm not going to, be completely depressed if this doesn't end up being true. I'm still expecting for it to not be true. But this rumor is just right up my alley, and I need to talk about it just in case there is a slight chance that it's true. Okay, I need to just get on with this article. Multiple sources have told VGC that the platform holder is planning to hold an event to coincide with this year's anniversary, which marks 35 years since the start of the mainline Super Mario series in 1985. As part of its anniversary celebrations, Nintendo will reveal plans to re-release most of Super Mario's 35-year back catalog this year, remastered for Nintendo Switch. Most of Super Mario's 35-year back catalog this year. If this is true, I'm going to lose my mind because Mario has so many games. And maybe they're talking about like the lesser known games. I don't know, like maybe they're gonna bring the 2 Super Mario Land games into the light of day, or I guess 3 if you count Wario Land. Maybe they'll do that. Maybe that's sort of what they mean by back catalog. I'm not sure. But then the article goes on to say this. As VGC's network partner Eurogamer reported in a follow-up to our story, these remasters will include 1997's Super Mario 64, 2002's Super Mario Sunshine, and 2007's Super Mario Galaxy. That's like every good 3D Mario game besides Odyssey. And I guess, of course, Galaxy 2, but you'd think that's what they'll also include Galaxy 2, right? I don't really know. And then, of course, there's also 3D Land and 3D World, but like those were like 2.5D games, and one of them was designed for a handheld, so it's a little iffy. But actually, I should just keep reading, because they also mention that they'll release a deluxe version of 2013's Super Mario 3D World. There you go. Not only that, Nintendo will also release several other Mario titles in 2020. Again, we're already 3 months into 2020, including a new installment in the Paper Mario series. I need to not believe it. I don't believe it. I promise I don't believe it. Okay, so that's pretty much it for main information in this article. So today, first off, thank you so much for tuning into the video, and today, look, I read it, I saw the articles, and I just couldn't help but make a video about it, because 3D Mario games are my... Well, I actually do. It's really not that hard to say. They're my favorite video game genre ever. There really aren't that many 3D Marios because, there's such a big deal when they come out. They're only once every, 4 or 5 years maybe. That's a random guess. But I mean, we've got 64, Sunshine, Galaxy, Galaxy 2, and Odyssey. That's 5. And then, of course, I know 3D Land, 3D World, whatever you want to say about those. But in terms of like what I think are the main 3D Mario titles that are in a similar boat, a similar genre, there's pretty much only 5. And one of those is a sequel to another one that uses the same engine and everything. So really there are only 4 standalone 3D Mario experiences you can have that classic 3D Mario feel. Which just makes this so exciting because, oh my gosh, I remember when the Switch was first shown off at the January 12th event in 2017, and they showed the trailer for Mario Odyssey, and I just lost my mind. This is a big deal to me because I grew up with these games and I love these games, and oh man. I'm just so pumped. I'm so pumped about a rumor. I would never believe, like, if you asked me yesterday, that I would get so, like, excited about a rumor, because in the past I've always been like, you can't trust rumors, you know? But oh man, something about this, just like the fact that it involves 3D Mario games, with how important those games are to me, it just kind of caused a trigger, like a light bulb switch in my mind that just kind of has caused me to, like, experience all of this sudden joy and nostalgia out of nowhere. Is this what happiness feels like? I think also part of it is that it's like coming from a year, an upcoming year, that we don't really know much that's to come from Nintendo. We've kind of been, you know, preparing ourselves for information sometime soon, right? Because at some point we got to hear what games Nintendo is planning to release this year. So just the fact that Nintendo's main focus for the rest of this year, or the latter half of this year, is something that I am so interested in, just makes me so happy and so relieved, because it's like that's so much less time that I'd have to wait for something that I'm really excited about. Because after Animal Crossing, there's nothing that really excites me too much, but this could be that. Okay, I've gained my footing. I'm a little more calm now. I'm a little more relaxed. Let's talk realistically about what these 3D Mario games could have in store, what they could do to these remakes or remasters, and whether they will be remakes or remasters, how they could improve them or change them, or if they're just going to take the games and plop them on the Switch, maybe in a widescreen format. First off, I guess I should say, we're probably already like 10 minutes into the video. First off, I should say that this rumor includes much more than the 3D Mario games, I know that, but they specifically mentioned 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy, and so I want to talk about that for the majority of the rest of this video. So as for 64 and Sunshine and Galaxy, yeah, how would they go about remastering those games on the Switch? Because that's what the quote or the rumor says, that they're going to be remasters. What does that usually mean? I mean, was Link's Awakening a remaster? That was more of a reimagining. Maybe it was, I don't know. The lines are so blurred right now. They could really go any way. I think they could, like I said, plop the games on the Switch and put them in a widescreen format, like keep that polygonal look of Mario 64. Honestly, that's part of the identity of that game. Or they could maybe even use the Odyssey engine and just kind of build the worlds of those games around the Odyssey engine and then sell them as individual games, if that makes sense. Create, you know, HD high-res models for Mario 64 and kind of just remake that whole game. I don't know what they do, but if they did do that, I think they'd have to work really hard to keep the control scheme as is. Obviously, there are some things they could fix, like the wall jump was always kind of hard to pull off. I'd love for them to keep the controls similar though, because I think the feel of Mario 64 is what makes that game so great. It's such a loose but like fluid kind of movement, but Mario also has some heft to him. As for Sunshine and Galaxy, honestly, they could just take those games and upscale them and redo the textures or whatever. I don't know how games are made, but I think those games will be a lot easier to remaster for the Switch, because I think they're just a step higher in terms of graphical quality and potential than Mario 64 as it is right now. That game is very old and obviously polygonal, like I said. But again, they could just still take the game and plop it on the Switch in a widescreen format. Just remove the black bars on the side and there you go, because one, I think that would be a very Nintendo thing to do. I mean, I think they want to utilize their resources as much as possible, and I could totally see them just doing that, which is fine. And two, well, that's about it. So who knows what they're gonna do. Especially for Galaxy, I do not think they'd have to remake that game from the ground up. And I honestly feel the same way about Sunshine. But for Sunshine in particular, I think there are some more like design things that they would have to change about that game, like kind of tighten it up overall, like stuff that just doesn't really work, like the pachinko machine or the blue coins. Maybe like, I don't know, make another level to make up for all the crappy blue coin missions, because that was such like a lame way to just get a ton of shines. Because like the game had 120 shine sprites, but so many of those are for like, crappy, repetitive tasks. And so maybe they could like add a level or two to kind of make up for that. I don't know. Aren't there also like a ton of unused level ideas from Mario 64 from back in the day that like they could remake levels for? They probably wouldn't. Again, it's Nintendo. They're probably going to go with the simple option. But who knows? The possibilities are endless, and that's what's so exciting about this. Another thing I want to touch on is, are these games going to be released as a collection? Or are they going to be separate releases? And I'm talking about the 3D Mario games in particular. Are they going to, sell them as one big collection? I don't see them doing that because that's not a very Nintendo thing to do. But then again, this entire rumor is not a very Nintendo thing. So I think most likely they're going to release them as 3 separate games. That makes the most sense. Each of those 3 games has a ton of content packed into it. And that's a lot of gameplay value. So they'd probably release them separately. Oh, and I was about to start talking about Paper Mario, but there's another thing I want to say about these alleged 3D Mario remasters. Imagine if maybe Sunshine or Galaxy would, well, definitely not Galaxy, actually, but maybe Sunshine wouldn't need this, I don't really know, but imagine if they took the Mario 64 music and reorchestrated it. Like imagine Bob on Battlefield with like a new orchestral theme, sort of like the Throwback Galaxy from Mario Galaxy 2, or like Dire Dire Docks, but just kind of like up the quality of it and make it really just like soothing and relaxing. Dire Dire Docks is one of my favorite Mario songs, period, video game songs. If they remastered the music too, that would be so cool. Okay, to sum everything up, realistically, they're going to take the games as is, being 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy, plop them on the Switch, put them in a widescreen format, and release them as separate games. That's the realistic option. As a more hopeful option, what I think would be really cool is, whether that's using the Odyssey engine or using just the engines from those games, I don't know, remastering each of those 3 games to a beautiful, HD upscaled format, especially Mario 64. I think it'd be much easier for them to do that with Sunshine and especially Galaxy. But for Mario 64, remake that game from the ground up and keep what's great about it, but just kind of build it so that it looks like a game that would have come out today. And even more hopeful than that is adding all of the cut content from these games. I mean, if this is a celebration of Mario's 35th anniversary, who knows, maybe they'll go all in with this and add some content that they weren't able to put in the actual, games to begin with. This leads to a whole other thing. What if they added Luigi in Mario 64 to finally make up for the whole L is real thing? If they had a whole multiplayer mode? That is not going to happen. I cannot get my hopes up for that. But just think about the possibilities, right? If Nintendo really did care so much about this 35th year anniversary thing, which it seems like they do if they're going through all this effort to re-release and remake these games, maybe they'll even, add some more on top of that. Like bringing Luigi in for Mario 64, which was always an idea that they had, they just weren't able to do because of, I don't remember if it was time or the console's limitations at the time, but you get my drift. I could go on for hours and hours about this, honestly, because it's just, I've said a million times, but I will say it one last time. 3D Mario games are my favorite games of all time. Even Sunshine. I know some people aren't as big fans of Sunshine, and then some people really love Sunshine. I lean more toward the latter group. I love Sunshine, but I understand why you don't. And I think now is a great chance for Nintendo to fix a lot of the things that weren't so great about Sunshine, and kind of get everyone to like that game. Of course, there's also the Paper Mario rumor, which is also such a great thing. I mean, that's something that's been rumored separately, but now it's also kind of on top of this rumor. If they made a new Return to Form Paper Mario game, I would lose my mind, just like I'm sure a lot of people would. But if this 3D Mario thing comes true, or Mario, most of Mario's back catalog, whatever that means, the fact that they mentioned those 3 games gets me so excited, and so I had to make a video about it. I just had to. And look, if this doesn't end up being true, it's okay. I'm not going to be mad at myself for getting so hyped about it, because I want to let myself get excited about this, because this is a feeling that doesn't come very often. Most of the time with rumors, it's like, yeah, I'm not going to get too excited about it. It's probably not true, because usually it isn't. But this is a case where it's just such an exciting, magical, nostalgic thing for me that I just want to talk about it and imagine as if it were true, because it's just such a cool idea, a cool concept, and I really want it to happen. So hopefully, it happens. With that, thank you so much for listening to me ramble for a very long time about this. Let me know what you think about this crazy 35th anniversary Mario rumor in the comments down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Are you as excited as I am? Even if not, you're probably still pretty excited because my excitement is just through the roof. So thank you guys again for watching this video, and I will see you all in the next one.